Hey, welcome back to Excel with Erik. I'm your host, Erik Dewey, and today we're going to be talking about charting in Excel. Now, charting in Excel is a great way to show your data visually. A single chart can answer tons of questions that looking at a table of numbers just can't provide. And charting is actually very simple in Excel as long as you learn to think visually. Basically, you want to right-click on anything you want to change and choose Format in that item, and you can go in and make your charts look as beautiful as you want. So let's take a look at how it works. Okay, so here we have our data that we want to chart. We have our 4 quarters here and our sales for our different sales persons in this area. Now, to actually create your chart, it's very simple. You just select the data that's in your chart. If you include the headings will automatically be placed in your chart. You click on the Insert tab, and you'll notice over here we have all kinds of different types of charts. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you pick because you can change it at any time. So just for simplicity's sake, we're going to do just your basic standard column chart. So I'll click on a column chart, I'll choose just a standard 2D column, and I'll click. And boom, we have our new chart automatically created for us. All of this data is live, so if I change my numbers here, for instance give Buck 100 on his first quarter, you should see this blue line jump up to 100 as soon as I hit enter. And there it does. So any change you make to the data is automatically reflected in your chart. Now when you click on your chart, you get this border around it. You'll notice the little dots. These are called resize handles. They allow you to resize your chart. So if you move in the corners or in the middle, you can make your chart bigger or smaller. If you move anywhere else, you become the movement icon and you can drag your chart around. And it's useful to think of your chart as kind of a big post-it note because it can go right on top of your data, but it doesn't hurt any of the data that it's on top of. You'll also notice up here at the top a new Chart Tools menu or ribbon tab has appeared, and there's a Design, Layout, and Format. So if you want to change, say, your chart styles or your colors, you can click here and pick different types of options. Maybe I like this little 3D look, so I click on it, and it applies it to my chart. Layout allows you to add things to your chart. Like, for instance, perhaps I want a title. So I can click on Chart Title, and I can choose its center overlay. It brings up this chart title. Notice that it's selected. It's got these little resize handles here. That means if whatever I do is going to affect this title. So obviously I don't want it to say chart title, so I'll just type in sales or quarterly sales. And press enter, and there we go. Likewise, if I want to move the legend around, see, currently it's at the right. Perhaps I want it at the bottom. I can click it right there. Other things that you can do, if you click on Format, you'll see you can mess around with the style of the format. You can apply word art. Be very careful with word art because it can make your text illegible pretty quickly. But this will allow you to kind of change and customize the look of your text. Now, a great rule of thumb whenever you're dealing with a chart is that if you want to change something, the easiest way to do it is just to right-click on it and choose Format and whatever it is. For instance, maybe I don't like Tweaky being green, so I can select one of Tweaky's bars, and you'll notice that each one is selected. You click on one, it clicks on all of them. And I right-click and I choose Format Data Series. And in this case, fill. I want to pick a solid fill, and maybe I want a different color. Well, not red. Let's do yellow. And choose Close, and now it's yellow. Likewise, maybe I want to change the axis. Now the values here are automatically determined based on the data that is being charted. So since the highest value is about 100, it figured out probably 120 is a good number. But you can change that. Again, right-click, Format, in this case Axis. Maybe I want the maximum number instead of 120. Maybe I want it to be 150. And then I choose Close. You'll want to be careful because this modification actually changes the story that you're telling. So by adding this to 150, it's actually diminishing what all of our sales are. They look less because there's all this empty white space. Likewise, if I changed it instead of 120, maybe I wanted it to be 110. Now it looks a lot more, everything's kind of stretched out. So if you start manipulating your axes, you want to be careful because you will be changing the story you're telling with your chart. Now I mentioned that you can change the chart type at any time. Under the Design tab, you see we have an option right here called Change Chart Type. So maybe instead of a column, maybe I want to try a line. So I can click Line and OK, and now it's a line chart. Maybe I want to try these funky pyramids. Let's see what that looks like. You can change it at any time and make your choices based on what it is that it looks like. If this looks good, then you can use that. If you don't like it, like for instance, if I choose area doesn't really make any sense here. So maybe I should probably go back to the column chart. I'll do cylinders. That looks spacey. So there you go. You can kind of run around and make whatever changes you want to make. Again, either using these menu options or, again, right-click on whatever it is that you want to change and choose Format and whatever that item is. Now, one other thing you can do with your data, instead of having your chart just kind of be this resizable post-it note on a spreadsheet, you can actually just highlight everything, press your F11 key on the keyboard, and it's going to create a new page that's just a chart. Notice down here at the bottom it says Chart 1. And then you can, of course, do whatever you want to with it. So if you'd rather just put your chart on an entire separate page, all you need to do is select your data and tap your F11 key. So that's it. Think visually, right-click and choose Format on whatever you want to change, and remember that that Chart Tools menu only appears when the chart itself is selected. So that's it. That's all there is to charting. You just highlight your data, choose Insert and Chart, or F11 for the full screen chart. Thank you very much for watching Excel with Erik, and if you have other questions, feel free to email me. You can visit my website at erikdewey.com, and you'll have all my contact information there. Until next time, I'm Erik Dewey, and thanks for watching Excel with Erik.